Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm starting to slap down some textures in here, and it's slow and laggy. Okay, awesome. Um, and as I'm looking at it, I can figure out some features, but I find the shadows and stuff like that a little bit distracting. So just like you've seen in some of the other stuff that I've done, if I go into the render settings, if I go in here and I flip it to unlit texture, I just find it easier to look at while I'm trying to put textures down. Okay, so I'm using that, and I got to deal with some spec issues, but whatever. And also right now I want to put on the side of the head and the front of the head. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn these things off, and then I look at it and I should have my lovely wireframe again. And I can go in here when I'm on the rotate tool here. I just tap K. You'll notice here you can see it just at the very top. Can I move this thing down? Of course not. Why am allowed? What's going down? Okay. Here, I'll just see if I can move this thing down, and you can see it here in the view what the heck I'm doing. Let's move this down. And so right here along the top, when I'm on this one here, I can go in and switch it to the front. So now I'm looking at directly the front, and I just got to go here to the scale and bring it forward so I can actually see it. The wireframe is a little bit small, but that's because I'm in cramped quarters right now trying to get this to work. And let's go in here and grab that front of the face thing. Let's bring my opacity down so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Let's hit a Control T, and I'm just going to line up the eyes. Okay, and actually I'm just going to have to zoom in here because I can't figure out what the eyes look like. Okay, they're actually almost fitting not too bad. They're a little bit close together, so if I go in and I back up a little bit so I can see what the hell I'm doing, if I move that freaking little anchor point, which I don't know how the hell I spotted that, but I did, and if I go in and hold down Shift and Alt at the same time, I can scale them out at the same time. Awesome. And what else? I just want to move this down so I can get the lips in kind of the right spot. And there's some place right around there, I suspect. And again, I should spend a lot more time doing this, but I'm trying to do it fast. Let's hit warp and see what happens when we warp this thing around. And I should have chopped out that part of the coat, but whatever. Again, I'm going for speed. The side of the head here. Let's bring that down for the ears. Actually, it isn't too far off, even though I'm doing this really distorted Toma. Toma as FUD. Be very, very quiet. I'm extruding nubs. Okay, so I'm going to say that's... what do we got for the chin? Okay, I'm going to say that's good enough for now. And let's just go and crank up that opacity again. And I just realized something. I'm on my freaking wireframe layer, aren't I? Oh, I didn't do it yet. Okay, that's because I haven't done anything yet. Great. Let's just go in and now I have to move Photoshop back up because I can't see my little menu at the bottom anymore. Great. I'm just going to go and create a layer. And now when I go back over here and I say I want to compress that. Well, that's not very fair. What the hell's that? Why did it only do part of it? Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, took me a moment. I just went and had to play around for a little bit. I just went and took this texture and I saved it off, and then I just went and closed it down and I opened it up, and then I went and I reloaded it in the 3D materials. If you just go into 3D materials and God damn it, where did it go? Okay, fine. Everything's starting to flake out a little bit on my computer. I've got a lot of things open. If I go in here and I take this, window 3D, does it magically come back? Of course not. Anyway, I reloaded the texture, and so now that gives me the separate layer that I was looking for. Okay, and I'm just going to keep doing this over again. Wonder why that is. Wonder if... I think my computer's just acting flaky. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I'm just going to try and do a few more of these things here. If I go in here and... I wonder because I'm starting to try to hide things or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, just go here. Boop. And now I'm just going to go and take this thing and I'm going to be popping it onto this layer here. And I just went and I turned off everything and it didn't update when I came back over here. So I go in here and I say save changes, yeah. Okay. And it didn't turn it off again. And there's something funny going on here. Anyway, hopefully you don't encounter this problem. I'm just going to go back up here and I'm going to go to the drop down menu and I'm going to pick our right side. Boop. And let's go in here and zoom in. And once I get all these kind of side shots slapped down here, I'm just going to go into that texture and start to go in and let's do this, get a layer on here. Okay, and I'm just going to close it and save it, yeah. And did that hide that thing? It did this time. Okay, great. Just going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it and I'll hide that one. And this one here, we're just going to go and make that the opacity, drag it down, I don't know, 50 or something like that. Control T. And let's flip this thing horizontally. Let's go and fit that nose into place. Okay, and where's that little anchor point right there? And if I need to, I can rotate it, moving it over this way. Just go and do some warp action. Boop. Okay, and again, most of the stuff that I'm doing here is primarily just to get this front of the face here. This the ear and stuff like that. You're not going to use all these textures for like this. Let's go ahead and crank up the opacity. Bloop, and let's drop it. Okay, so that's on the side of this thing now. So if I go and I take a look, boop. Come on. I should probably save soon. This is going to flake out on me, I know it. Okay, so there's the side of the head. Let's go and hit this. And, come on, update. Go, 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 go. There we go. And just making sure that's working. Great, we're just going to take the head here and custom side. We'll go to the left now. And I got to zoom in again. Okay, let's get this on. Let's go and, come on, get the opacity down. Run over here with the nose. Control T. And there's my little anchor point right there. And I'll just go in here and I'll whoop, rotate it around a little bit. Great. I'm just going to warp this thing. And so you can get the eye roughly in place. I don't know if that's going to work at all, but whatever. And bring that hair up this way. Hair over this way. Get that ear into place. And how's that chin doing? That chin's got to come back like this. Almost looks like a Simpsons character. Okay, good enough. Good enough for now anyway. I'm mostly worried about the sideburns. I'm mostly worried about the area of the skin that's facing towards me, like the sideburns and stuff. And let's go back up here. Opacity, crank that up. And then I just go in and I go over to this material, or I drop it. Boop. Control E. Merge it down. When I go back over here, they're a separate layer here. And then all I got to do is just start going in and cleaning up each one of these little layers, right? And I can just go in and maybe just do them one at a time. Let's go and take a look at the side here. Let's get rid of that wireframe, and I'm just going to find out stuff that I don't need. Why does that do that? And if I go in, I typically erase. I can just go in here and go and get rid of some of this stuff so it'll blend in. Sometimes this white background here might be a little bit weird. I have a tendency to prefer something really obnoxious. There, something like this, because sometimes the white blends in with other things, but now I know this green color, I'm probably not going to be using that for anything, so, and what are we at, 9:19? I think I'm going to stop the video, and I'm just going to go ahead and horse around with this texture and come up with something with it, because it's just going to be boring to watch me erase and all that crap.